Hurricane Hilary, preparations in our region by the city, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and others. This, of course, is a storm that is expected to arrive in our region early in the new day, tomorrow. I have been briefed earlier today by meteorologists about the storm's trajectory. We are told that the storm is moving faster than yesterday and that we'll have rain starting tonight, with the most intense portion of that rain and high winds coming tomorrow afternoon. Our Emergency Services Director will have an up-to-the-minute information on all of this and will be speaking in more detail on the storm shortly. As of right now, what we know for certain is that there will be sustained high winds of up to 50 miles per hour and that there will be enough rain to flood low-lying areas like Mission Valley and the Tijuana River Valley. We have first responders positioned to address emergencies that may occur because of this flooding, but I ask people to avoid areas that are known to be flood zones. Do not drive through standing water on any street that may be flooded. It is often the case that these flooded areas are far deeper than they appear, and your poor choice to enter those areas may require the use of limited public safety resources that we'd like to devote elsewhere. Crews from the city's storm patrol will be actively monitoring areas throughout the city and responding to incidences such as temporary flooding, downed trees, and branches. We now have a storm-specific page on our city website, sandiego.gov, where you can receive real-time updates throughout this event. That site, again, is sandiego.gov/storm. This is where you should go to know what city services are impacted and when you might expect them to resume. Now, it's important for you to take action today to prepare for the significant rain expected tomorrow. I would ask San Diegans to take precautions such as clearing your gutters of leaves and other debris that may have accumulated, and to make sure the storm drains near your home or your property are clear of trash, leaves, and other debris. This will help us to prevent the kind of flooding that we are anticipating because of the high amount of water that's anticipated to come because of the storm. The city has distributed thousands of sandbags across the city. A list of recreation centers where those sandbags are available is on that website that I mentioned just a moment ago. I want to thank the San Diegans who have come forward to get those sandbags. I know in some locations we may have run out of a few. We're currently procuring more to make sure that needs are met and addressed. For our unsheltered population, the city's Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department, as well as the San Diego Housing Commission, have activated our inclement weather shelter system. We have an additional 192 shelter beds available at 4 locations for people to come off the streets tonight and through the remainder of this storm. I strongly advise that they do so. 146 people from the 20th and B Safe Sleeping Site have been temporarily relocated to the Golden Hall earlier this morning. And the city's outreach teams and our various community partners continue to warn individuals of the risk posed by this storm and encourage them to accept shelter. We continue to ask people to shelter in place during the storm. Tomorrow is going to be a perfect day for you to stay at home and enjoy the company of your relatives, your friends, family, and your pets. Please prepare for tomorrow by making sure that your phone and other essential devices are fully charged in case the power goes out. I also recommend folks take precautions to make sure the batteries in your flashlights and, again, other essential equipment are powered and working. We do anticipate power outages to happen due to the high winds across our county. And so, again, these kinds of precautions will be necessary and I think helpful to you as we get through the storm. We, again, encourage people to please stay indoors and avoid any unnecessary travel, again, particularly tomorrow. As always, if there's a life-threatening emergency, we ask that you please call 911. Finally, I want to say rest assured that our city crews and first responders are ready to respond to the impacts and emergencies that will come, and we appreciate you doing your part to make sure that we can all stay safe together. I also like to share that I just left a meeting with our governor, Gavin Newsom. He is here in San Diego. He paid a visit to our Emergency Operations Center just over an hour ago. He assured me that the state of California is watching and monitoring the storm closely and that the full weight of our state government will be here to support our city before, during, and after this event. I want to express to the Governor the sincere appreciation of the City of San Diego for his active engagement in this matter. I know that it will make a difference both in the lead up to this event and in the days after. Now I'd like to hand it over to our Executive Director of our Office of Emergency Services, Chris Heiser, to provide the latest on the storm and what we can all expect. Chris?
Good afternoon. It's important to understand that we've been following the storm for a number of days, and it's progressing as expected. This reinforces the fact that we do have a tropical storm that will hit San Diego tomorrow afternoon, with the projected eye of the storm somewhere between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. We're anticipating the rains to pick up lightly tonight, light showers, progress into Sunday. Then as the storm moves through, we'll have heavy rains first, followed by the strong winds. The wind projections remain somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 miles per hour sustained in the city of San Diego, up to 70 miles per hour in the mountains. Along with this, we will have strong coastal surge or surge up and high surf. So I need to emphasize, this is a large storm with a huge footprint, unlike what we usually see in San Diego. Normally we're used to small pockets that kind of bounce around. That's not the case. It's already pouring rain out into the desert and east of us. So it will come and it will have the impact that's projected. Anticipate heavy rains, and the rains will not be absorbed like we normally expect. So this will exaggerate or intensify the flooding that we anticipate. So as has been mentioned, this is not something to go out in. It's not some time to go to the beach. Change your plans, adjust what you're doing, stay indoors and minimize your impact. I'll be followed by Commander Motoy.
Good afternoon, all. It's good to have you here. I'm Commander Ellen Motoy, Deputy Sector Commander of Coast Guard San Diego. So the Coast Guard has been very proactive in preparing for this storm. We've been closely coordinating with all of our federal, state, and local partners. So it's been a very strong interagency approach on many levels to ensure that our community, boating public, and the port are prepared for this hurricane. So we continue to operate and plan at an elevated posture, especially because we are cognizant that these storms can be unpredictable. And like as already said, this is a very rare storm occurrence in this area, in this part of the country, and so we're taking it very seriously. We've done a lot of outreach to the port and port partners and the community. And I'd like to share just some quick messages. Number one, stay off the water. Listen to the weather warnings and advisories. It's not the time to go out. Even if you're the most experienced mariner or swimmer, just don't go out. It's not worth it. Number two, secure your belongings and vessels. So hopefully boat owners have their vessels either trailered or in a safe, protected area. And if you're going to leave your boat in the water, please remove any emergency signals and secure your life rings. The Coast Guard does not want to respond to any false alerts, and we want to use our aircraft and resources to respond to people who are in actual need. And number three, evacuate as necessary. If mandatory evacuations occur for an area, the public is encouraged and should evacuate without delay. The Coast Guard personnel, we may not be unable to evacuate or rescue those in danger during the storm. So Coast Guard, our priority is the safety of life at sea, but with this storm and the current weather forecast, there is potential for an increase in search and rescue operations inland, and we stand ready to support our port partners during the storm and after. So thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Admiral Rosen from United States Navy, Southwest Region.
Thank you, Commander. I'm Rear Admiral Brad Rosen, the Commander of Navy Region Southwest. I have responsibility of for the Navy bases in the 6 states that make up the Southwest United States, including the 3 bases here in Metro San Diego. As many of you are tracking, the Commander of U.S. 3rd Fleet issued the order to execute a fleet sortie from San Diego bases earlier this morning, and that operation is currently underway at Naval Base Coronado, Naval Base San Diego, and Naval Base Point Loma. As a region commander, my primary focus is the safety and well-being of the 183,000 Department of the Navy sailors, civilians, and their families who reside throughout Metro San Diego. We are also preparing to execute any relief efforts to our civilian authority counterparts if called upon to do so. While this weather pattern is unique to Southern California and Metro San Diego, we as a Navy have significant experience executing these type of operations on the East Coast, and we are drawing on that experience here in Metro San Diego, and I'm confident that we're going to be able to execute these operations safely and without any significant concern. So I look forward to working with our community partners, and I thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Admiral Rosen and Commander Motoy, Chief Heiser. We obviously have also our police chief, our lifeguard chief, our assistant fire chief, and our chief operating officer here available to answer any questions folks might have. So happy to throw it open to field anything that's on folks' mind. UT. So for the benefit of folks who may not be able to hear the question, it's about homeless encampment on 17th Street, and I'm assuming East Village, downtown San Diego, individuals sounding as though they're unaware of the storm event that's coming. Yeah. Questioners asking, Philip from the UT is saying that folks are aware of the storm coming, but they don't want to leave. Sadly, in our experience, that is often the case. That's a part of why we're here today, to communicate not just to unsheltered folks on 17th Street, but really every San Diegan. This is serious. You should take it serious, and you should take precautions now to avoid worse outcomes tomorrow. As I mentioned, we have activated our inclement shelter system in order to provide additional capacity for those folks that you're talking about to be able to come off the streets. We've relocated our safe sleeping site. That's over 100 individuals. So we're making significant efforts right now to make sure that unsheltered folks have better options than staying outdoors. I know that our outreach teams have saturated, sorry, no pun intended, have been aggressively outreaching in the San Diego riverbed.